All right, Mike, I got a good one for you, okay?
Oh,
so another
man.
roadside chat.
I like the good ones.
So this one is an officer from Texas, and basically it's
Wait, say it right.
Texas.
Thank you.
And he says, all right, you stop a vehicle and you see a backpack in the vehicle. There's two occupants. There's the driver and a passenger.
Okay.
You want to search that bag, and you say, hey, is that your bag? And both the driver and the passenger say, nope. Can you then grab that bag from the car and search it? Now, the first thing I want to ask you about is that the best way to establish abandonment? Is this
the way you asked it? No.
Why?
Because that's a very pinpoint way of asking something. Is this yours? You ever held the wife's purse out in public somewhere before?
I wear shoes to match if I am.
There you go, right?
Right.
Hey, is that your purse? And it's your wife, so you say no.
Yep.
Is it abandoned? No.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't answer the question.
It doesn't answer the question that's more relevant to us as police officers. Do you have anything to do with that bag or that purse?
Right.
And then you get a much better answer from that person. Well, it's not mine. I'm just hanging on to it for my friend, or I'm holding the wife's purse while she's inside shopping. You get a truer feel of what's going on with the item.
Now, what's funny is we've been teaching this for a long time, and I had a cop come up to me in Illinois a few weeks ago, and he says, hey, I got a case that was denied by the prosecutor. I said, what happened? In a nutshell, he said, I stopped this guy, and there's a purse in the passenger seat, but no female was in the purse, right? And it's presumably not the driver's purse.
Okay, yeah.
So he said, hey, is this your purse? And the driver said no. And then he grabbed it and searched it, found evidence against this guy, and the prosecutor dismissed it, right? And he says, what do you think happened there? And I said, because you didn't ask the right question. What if that guy was holding onto that purse for his friend?
Yeah.
Then he may not feel the right answer is it's not his, but if you would ask him, do you have anything to do with that purse? Totally different set of facts.
Totally different set of facts.
Okay, that's our first problem. But let's just say we still have plenty of cases that have held that saying something is not yours does establish abandonment, even though it's not the best way to do it, especially with items that could be somebody else's, and you have reason to believe that. The next question is, all right, what about searching it now? Can we now go into that car and search that bag?
Which part do you want to tackle first?
I want to tackle let's tackle the search part.
Okay, let's tackle the search part. The bag has, like we say, been constitutionally abandoned.
Okay,
right?
And they say we have nothing to do with the bag.
We have nothing to do with the bag.
Yep.
What bag? I don't know.
Yeah.
Never seen it before in my life.
Yeah.
So they verbally disowned it. They've somewhat physically, kind of shied away from it here. So, lawfully they've lost an expectation of privacy inside that bag. So the search of that bag, I'm good with under abandonment because they've both have disclaimed any kind of expectation of privacy. So
you look in that bag. I know we're gonna go to another question, but you look in that bag and you find evidence of a serious crime.
Okay.
That actually you can prove that they were both involved in it.
Right.
DNA, fingerprints, their IDs in the bag, etc.
Okay.
But isn't it kind of weird that you can abandon something, but then you're going to hit them with a possessory charge?
That's always such the cool argument when we talk about abandonment, because you got to show some sort of, they're not quite in an actual possession of it here, but some sort of constructive possession of that. They either had, dominion or ownership or control of it at some point in time. And you said, when we open it up, there's something that shows that in there, right? Something that shows them either ID or personal effects, something that now you can show there's a tie to it. So it's funny, yeah, abandonment, but also showing why you were in control of it in some way, shape, or form.
Sounds like you're talking out both sides of your mouth.
Pretty much, yeah, it really is. It's a very interesting argument.
It is, and it does confuse, I think, a lot of newer officers because they say, well, I'm hitting with possessions, but yet I'm saying, hey, it's not yours.
It's not yours.
Search. Ah, it is yours.
It is yours.
Okay.
We'll think about, we'll go pause that for a second. You see somebody with the backpack, and then they take off running on you, and they throw it and run away from it, never make attempts to come back towards it or anything like this. Well, at one point in time, you saw them in actual positive control of it here, and that's an easier argument in here, but you can still be abandoned even though you saw they had it at one point in time by their actions.
Now, what about the actual seizing the bag out of the car?
This is a good one. The fact that they've abandoned this bag, we established that, but is there a protective interest inside that vehicle? The driver hasn't abandoned his car.
Nope.
So I think there could be some discussion when we talk about the entry into that car to seize that abandoned item. It's plain view from where we are, but is there something we've got to get through to actually touch that bag, you know?
I think that I still think we're going to win, and here's why. Number one is search or seizures, right? Did a search occur? Well, no.
No.
Because okay, so
we're separating the bag here, so yes.
Yes, let's just make sure, like the bag itself.
Right.
As far as he goes, the suspect, did a search occur as to him? No, because he has no standing. He has no standing in the contents of that abandoned property.
Correct.
Okay. The next thing is, did a seizure occur to him of the bag? And the answer is no, because a seizure is when you intentionally interfere with a person's lawful possessory interest.
Correct.
He doesn't have a possessory interest in an abandoned property. The problem is going to be, though, there's still a constitutional intrusion, though, as to him.
Correct.
Because when the cop's hand goes into that vehicle, there's a force field around that vehicle, and abandonment alone does not give him the authority.
Right.
Okay, that's actually interesting. So, like, what if you're a cop is standing outside of a window of a house, or of a house talking to the suspect?
Okay.
And he sees on the kitchen table, sees a bag. He says, "Hey, do you have anything to do with the bag sitting on your kitchen table?" He goes like this. No, have nothing to do with it whatsoever. Should the cop go into that guy's house and take that bag?
No.
Right. So what's the difference here? Now, a house is more protected than a car.
Correct.
Absolutely. But legally, it's still an issue. So, but at the end of the day, let me just ask you this. If the officer reaches into that car on the passenger seat or wherever this bag is, just takes it out, finds the evidence, doesn't find any other evidence while in that car, nothing bad, just takes the bag, finds evidence, is that case likely to be dismissed with those facts?
No, not with those facts.
No.
No.
But if the officer lifts up the bag, okay, that's been abandoned, lifts up the bag and finds evidence underneath the bag, on top of this guy's seat, basically, and he wants to charge him with that too, is that the issue that you're seeing?
I think then, yeah, now we're becoming more of a debatable issue there for sure. Yeah.
Correct, because now the question is, how did you lawfully get into that car? And you can't just say abandonment, not of the bag,
right?
Because the car is not abandoned, same as the house,
right?
I will tell you, in the big scheme of things, there's plenty of cases on this where cops are just grabbing the bag. Probably going to be fine as far as constitutionally, as far as this case goes, because rarely are you going to have that situation where something's underneath the bag. But if it is, and a defense attorney comes in, this is a very good argument.
Oh, absolutely.
And so maybe what you should do is ask for consent.
There it is.
To get the bag.
Right. They're clearly, at least giving that illusion of being cooperative with you. Hey, not ours. Then may I grab it? Yeah.
There was a case out of Oregon that said that not only can a person abandon something, they can also give you consent to search it. They said the cop it was actually very slick.
Right.
The cop was like, "Hey, is this your bag?" And he's like, "No." And then the cop's like, "Well, man, since it's not yours, you don't care if I search it, right?" He said, "I don't care if you search it." And the court said, abandonment and consent.
I mean, talk about talking out of
totally.
Both sides,
I mean,
right?
That's a slick move.
Yeah,
so at least here, say, "Hey, okay, cool. It's not your bag. You don't care if I just grab it, then, right? Get it out of your car."
Yeah.
But that's the answer. I think it's I love getting into the weeds a little bit about actually grabbing the bag. That's a distinct issue. I guess the guy can complain about that. He could try to sue the officer over that, which I don't think is going to go anywhere. It's so minimal, a de minimis lawsuit.
It is, yeah.
But it's going to be funny that it's going to be opening the car door, grabbing the bag, and then it's like, oh, there's a gun. And that's going to be,
I think,
the issue, which I totally agree that would be a legit, non-frivolous argument for the defense.
Yeah, good conversation, though.
Good conversation.
I like it.
All right. If you're liking this video, guys, that listen to this, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Until next time, my friends, stay safe.